It was New Year's night, just after midnight, when I was driving home alone. The celebrations were ending, fireworks still echoed occasionally in the distance, and the city felt strangely quiet between bursts of noise. Streets that were crowded hours earlier were now almost empty, as if everyone had disappeared indoors at once. I wasn't in a hurry. I just wanted to get home safely. The road I was on was a familiar one, a straight stretch lined with parked cars on both sides. Streetlights were working, but spaced far enough apart that shadows gathered between them. The air felt cold, sharp, and still, carrying the faint smell of fireworks. That's when I noticed something ahead on the road. At first, it looked harmless. Decorated gift boxes. They were scattered loosely across part of the street, wrapped in colorful paper with shiny ribbons. Some had tags that read "Happy New Year" in bright letters. From a distance, it looked like leftover celebration mess. Maybe gifts dropped during midnight celebrations or decorations thrown onto the road carelessly. I slowed down instinctively. It made sense. New Year's night is messy. People celebrate. Things get left behind. But as my car rolled closer, that familiar, uneasy feeling crept in. The boxes were placed too neatly. They weren't crushed or torn like trash. They were upright, balanced, positioned in a way that forced cars to slow down but not completely block the road, almost as if someone had arranged them deliberately. I scanned the surroundings. No people celebrating, no music, no houses nearby with lights on, just parked cars and silence. Before I continue, if you are enjoying our video, please like and subscribe. I slowed, but I didn't stop. As my headlights passed over the boxes, I noticed something else. Movement. Between two parked cars on the left side of the street, something shifted slightly. At first, I thought it was a shadow playing tricks on my eyes. But then I saw it clearly. A person crouching low, trying to stay hidden. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. I looked to the other side of the road. Another shape. Someone else was crouched behind a parked car, barely visible unless you were actively looking for them. Their body was angled toward the road, toward me. My heart started pounding. These weren't leftovers. They were bait. I pressed the accelerator gently and guided my car through the narrow gap between the boxes without touching them. As I passed, I kept my eyes on the mirrors. That's when everything changed. The figures behind the parked cars moved, not randomly, not confused. They stepped forward, slowly at first, realizing I wasn't stopping. One of them reached toward the road, as if deciding whether to chase or give up. Another raised his head, watching my car closely. No one waved, no one shouted. They just watched me leave. That silence was terrifying. I didn't slow down again until I reached a busier road with traffic lights, open fuel stations, and other vehicles. Only then did my breathing return to normal. My hands were shaking. My mind replayed the scene again and again. The gift boxes, the tags, the movement in the shadows. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. I searched online. What I found was disturbing. Police advisories, holiday safety warnings, reports from previous New Year's nights. Criminals sometimes place decorated objects, gift boxes, balloons, banners, even wrapped packages, on roads during festivals. Drivers assume it's harmless celebration debris. They slow down. Some stop to move the objects. That's when the people hiding nearby step out. The decorations lower your guard. The festival creates false safety. What happened to me wasn't an accident. It was planned. Timed perfectly for a night when people are distracted, tired, and emotionally relaxed after celebrating. Since that night, I've changed how I see festive mess on the road. If objects are placed deliberately, I don't stop to inspect them. If something forces me to slow down at night, I scan everything around me. And if I sense even the slightest danger, I leave immediately. Because danger doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks like celebration leftovers. Sometimes it looks colorful and harmless. And sometimes it wears a Happy New Year. It was New Year's Eve, late at night, just a short while before midnight, when I was driving back home alone. Most of the celebrations had already moved indoors. Fireworks echoed faintly in the distance, and the streets felt unusually empty between bursts of sound and light. The air was cold, sharp, and heavy with the smell of fireworks. I wasn't rushing. I just wanted to reach home safely before the new year began. The road I was on was familiar, a straight stretch with long gaps between streetlights. Parked cars lined parts of the roadside, but there was very little movement. It was the kind of road that feels calm on normal nights, but strangely unsettling on holidays when you expect more activity. That's when I noticed something ahead. A car parked on the roadside. Its hazard lights were on. At first, that didn't seem unusual. Breakdowns happen, especially after long days of celebration. But as I got closer, I noticed something else that made me slow down. Colorful LED lights. They were blinking around the car, soft blues, reds, and greens, almost like party lights. From a distance, it looked festive, almost cheerful, like someone had decorated their car to celebrate the new year. I eased off the accelerator. My first thought was that the driver had broken down after celebrating and added the lights to make the car more visible. It made sense. New Year's Eve is chaotic. Cars fail, people drink, things go wrong. But as my car rolled closer, something didn't feel right. The car's hood was closed. There was no smoke, no steam, no warning triangle placed behind the vehicle. A man stood beside the car, waving his arms slowly as if asking for help. He looked calm, not panicked, not stressed. When he saw me slow down, his waving became more urgent. He pointed toward the engine and shouted that the car had stopped working after the celebration. "Engine failed," he called out. "Can you help?" Before I continue, if you are enjoying our video, please like and subscribe. I slowed, but I didn't stop. My eyes scanned the scene carefully. The car's headlights were off, but the LED strips and hazard lights were still blinking. The man's clothes were clean, his movements were controlled. There was no sign of frustration or confusion, just expectation. I looked at the hood again, still closed. If the engine had failed, why hadn't he opened it? Why no smoke? Why no tools? That familiar, uneasy feeling crept in. As I drove past slowly, I glanced into my side mirror. That's when everything changed. The LED lights turned off, not gradually, instantly. The hazard lights went dark too. The road behind me was suddenly swallowed by darkness. And then I saw movement. Not just one person, but several. From behind the parked car, from between nearby shadows, figures stepped forward, at least two, maybe three. They had been hidden perfectly, waiting behind the glow of the lights. My heart started pounding violently. This wasn't a broken down car. It was a setup. The man who had been waving stopped instantly. His posture changed. The urgency disappeared. He stepped back toward the others, as if the plan had failed. I pressed the accelerator gently but firmly and put distance between myself and that stretch of road. I didn't panic. I didn't swerve. I just kept driving, focused on reaching a brighter, busier area. In my rearview mirror, the darkness swallowed them again. No chase, no shouting, no attempt to follow. That silence was terrifying. I didn't slow down until I reached a road with open fuel stations, traffic cameras, and moving vehicles. Only then did my breathing begin to settle. My hands were shaking. My mind replayed every detail. The blinking lights, the closed hood, the sudden darkness. Later that night, curiosity wouldn't let me sleep. I searched online. What I found confirmed everything. Police advisories, holiday warnings, reports from previous New Year's nights. Criminals sometimes use broken down cars decorated with party lights to lure drivers on New Year's Eve. The festive lighting lowers suspicion. Drivers assume celebration-related trouble. One person waves for help while others hide nearby, waiting for the car to stop. The goal isn't help. It's the moment you step out. What happened to me wasn't random. It was planned. Timed perfectly for a night when people are distracted, tired, and emotionally relaxed. Since that night, I've changed how I respond to roadside situations during holidays. If a car looks festive but feels wrong, I don't stop. If someone claims a breakdown without visible signs, I stay alert. And if lights suddenly go dark behind me, I keep moving. Because danger doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks like a celebration. Sometimes it looks like a harmless breakdown. And sometimes it blinks like party lights on New.
It was New Year's night, just minutes before midnight, when I was driving home alone. The city felt different, alive, yet strangely quiet at the same time. Most people were already inside celebrating, while fireworks echoed faintly in the distance. The air felt cold, sharp, and electric, filled with anticipation for the new year. I wasn't rushing, I wasn't distracted, I just wanted to get home before midnight. The street I was on was usually busy during the day, but at that hour it was almost empty. Streetlights cast long shadows, and the glow from distant buildings faded the farther I drove. As I slowed near a quieter stretch of road, something unusual caught my attention ahead. Traffic cones. They were placed loosely across part of the street, not blocking it completely, just enough to make drivers slow down. Beyond them stood a small group of people gathered near the roadside. At first, it looked harmless. They were laughing, talking, counting down loudly. 10, 9, 8. Fireworks cracked somewhere far away, lighting up the sky for brief moments. It felt festive, familiar, the kind of spontaneous street celebration you expect on New Year's night. I eased off the accelerator. For a moment, I assumed it was a neighborhood gathering, people stepping outside to welcome the new year together. That assumption is what they were counting on. As I got closer, something didn't feel right. There were no police vehicles, no official barricades, no reflective warning signs, just cones placed casually, as if someone had set them down in a hurry. I scanned the faces in the group. There were about 5 or 6 people, mostly men, no children, no families. Their voices were loud, but their movements felt controlled, almost rehearsed. Before I continue, if you are enjoying our video, please like and subscribe. The countdown continued as my car rolled forward slowly. 5, 4, 3. That's when I noticed their attention shift. Their eyes locked onto my car. The smiles faded slightly. The laughter softened. A few of them stepped closer to the road, not to celebrate, but to position themselves. My heart started pounding. Something clicked in my mind. If this was a celebration, why block the street? Why no police presence? Why move toward the car? The moment they reached 1, the fireworks intensified, but so did the tension. 2 of them stepped directly into my lane, raising their hands, not in celebration, but to stop me. Another moved toward my passenger side. Someone else circled closer to the rear of my car. This wasn't a countdown. It was a distraction. I didn't stop. I pressed the accelerator gently but firmly and steered through the narrow gap between the cones. Someone shouted. Another banged on the side of my car. I didn't look at them. I didn't brake. In my rearview mirror, I saw the group scatter instantly. The festive behavior disappeared. No more counting, no cheering, just figures stepping back into the shadows, removing the cones as quickly as they had placed them. My hands were shaking. I didn't slow down until I reached a brighter, busier road where traffic was moving normally. Only then did my breathing start to steady. The new year had begun, but not in the way I expected. Later that night, curiosity wouldn't let the incident go. I searched online. What I found was unsettling. Police advisories, news warnings, similar reports from previous years. Criminals sometimes stage fake New Year countdown gatherings on quiet streets just before midnight. They use cones, fireworks noise, and group behavior to make drivers assume it's harmless celebration. Drivers slow down. Some stop. That's when the trap closes. What happened to me wasn't random. It was planned, timed perfectly for a moment when people are distracted, emotional, and less cautious. Since that night, I've changed how I see holiday celebrations on the road. If a street gathering blocks traffic without official signs, I don't slow down unnecessarily. If something looks festive but feels unorganized, I stay alert. And if people move toward my car instead of away from it, I leave. Because danger doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks like celebration, sometimes it sounds like laughter, and sometimes it counts down to midnight, waiting for you to assume it's safe.